How to avoid burnout as an entrepreneur. In this video, I'm going to share with you the tips that I've learned over the last few years to avoid burnout. I'm an entrepreneur since 2016 and I've experienced major depressive disorder back in 2021, and it was related to some kind of burnout. So in this video, I want to share with you the things that I've learned from my personal experience and just how to make sure you can avoid a burnout if you're an entrepreneur. So there are a few points. I took some notes just to remember everything that I want to share with you guys. The first thing is to focus on your health. It might sound like obvious, but when we are, an entrepreneur, we have a business, we're always thinking about business, we're always thinking about, problems, things that we need to solve and business related stuff. And so sometimes we tend to prioritize business over health, right? If you want to avoid burnout, you need to focus on a few things. The first thing is sleep. If you don't sleep enough, you're going to be really tired and it will take a toll on your health. So you need to sleep enough amount of time. So when I say sleep enough, that's meaning like at least 8 hours per day. You need to go to the gym because gym is good for stress relief, And I mean, those things, they are kind of general. You may have heard of them a lot, but the thing is, we hear about, we need to sleep properly, we need to go to the gym, but we don't do it. So just do it, right? Make it a priority, because if you need to be in your best shape if you want to run your business properly. If you are constantly tired, you are not going to the gym, you will not be your best self, you will not be able to run your business properly. Now, the food that you put in your body really matters. You want to make sure you you don't eat high inflammatory food, that's like junk food, highly processed food, a lot of sugar, stuff like that. This will make you tired and you will be more prone to experience a burnout. So that's really important. Now, I've been struggling with sleep for a long time, to be honest. Like all of my life, I've never been able to sleep at the same time every day and wake up at the same time every day. But over the last few months, I've really succeeded. So I think that it's really important. Going to bed at the same time and waking up around the same time every day, it gives me more energy, I've noticed. The way I did it is, for example, I go to bed, I try to sleep every day at 11 p.m. So to do that, I go to bed around 10 p.m., 9:30, and by 11 o'clock, everything is turned off and I'm trying to fall asleep. And so I would usually fall asleep within 20-30 minutes, right? But before, I was like, okay, I'm gonna sleep every day at the same time, and I would go to bed at 10, and then I would start watching a movie, and then it would be like 11:30, and the next day would be midnight, and the next day would be midnight:30. So just plan ahead and make sure you can go to bed at the same time every day, and after a few weeks, your body will get used to it, and you will be able to sleep consistently. And of course, to sleep good, you need to going to the gym is helpful, eating the right food is helpful as well. Now, to avoid burnout as an entrepreneur, you want to set a limit of time. The problem with me is because I was not able to fall asleep before. When I was going to bed, I would, stay in bed later and keep thinking about my problems, thinking about my business, the things that I needed to do the next day and stuff like that, because I would work until I went to bed, right? I would work until midnight, and then go to bed and then try to fall asleep, but I was still kind of working in my mind, if that makes sense. So set a limit of time where you will stop working. For me, it's around dinner, where after dinner, I don't do anything that's related to work, and so I just do some entertainment. Maybe I watch a movie or some YouTube video, or I can read a book or something like that, but don't start to do some work just before going to bed, because you need to have some time off work. The problem with burnout is work creates some kind of stress, and stress is not supposed to be sustained over a long period of time. It's supposed to be a one-off event that happened. For example, a few thousand years ago, you walk into the jungle, there's a lion that tries to eat you, and you stress and you want to, your survival instinct pick off and you want to survive, and so you have some stress event, right? But the problem with the current society is that we experience stress quite often, and the stress is sustained over a long period of time. And when you experience stress for so long, then it can turn into a burnout. So you want to have some break of time where you don't experience stress, if that makes sense, to like break, to interrupt the stress that you're experiencing. And that's the time, that's why you shouldn't be working a few hours before sleeping. So that's a good thing. Now, to make the point with that is you should also have a day off within a week where you don't work at all, because it would allow you to have a break where you can reduce stress as well. So you can take maybe Sunday off or Saturday off where you don't do anything related to work. And I would say it would be even better if you do like a digital dopamine detox, where like you don't use the internet. I mean, it really depends what's your business, right? For me, I'm an online entrepreneur, and so I work online. So sometimes I would do a day without internet. I would just, live life without internet. It might sound weird, but you can do a lot of other stuff. And so it allows you to disconnect totally from the internet and be able to recharge, and you will end up being more creative and more productive the next day. Now, another thing that you can do is to outsource and to delegate. Maybe there are some actions that you're doing right now that you don't really need to be doing. First, you can like just get rid of those things, or you can outsource them to other people. You want to focus on the things that you're good at. It's best to do that, because I mean, you will not spend a lot of time doing the thing that you don't love. Because when we do a lot of action that we don't love and that we're not really good at, that's where stress happens, and that's where you can get burnt out. Basically, like, stress can happen for a few reasons. It can happen by fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of running out of money, and fear of running out of time. For example, if you have to do some important phone calls or some important emails, some important meetings to sell your product or your services, you might fear that's like subconscious, right? You fear that this meeting is not going to go well, you will not end up having this customer, and so that there's a fear of rejection, there's a fear of failure, right? And so that is going to create some stress. At least if it's a threat to your basic survival need, if it's related to money, the fact of not having money means you will not be able to have a place to live, pay a bill and stuff like that, and so it's a stressful event. If you have like tight deadline, the fear of running out of time, the fear of running out of money, those things tend to be really stressful. So if you can reduce those activities and outsource them to other people, it will reduce your stress level, and so it will reduce the chance of you having a burnout. Another thing that can be really helpful is to go to therapy. Having a therapist can be helpful because you will be able to share with someone else the things that are constantly in your mind. For example, if you're an entrepreneur and you're experiencing some stress, you tend to have those ruminating thoughts, those things that you always think about, those problems that you cannot find a solution with. And having a therapy can help you with that, because the therapist will ask you the right question and will help you see the problem in another angle, and that might help you solve those problems. So I would recommend, if you are experiencing some stress, you might think you have a burnout or you're about to have a burnout, I would recommend seeing a therapist, because it can really help you with that. So I think that's pretty much it. The main thing is reducing the activities that leads to stress by either transforming the way you operate your business or by outsourcing them, and also taking some time off every day. So that's a few hours before bedtime every day, and also a day per week where you don't work and you don't do anything related to work at all. So if you want to to know more about that, and maybe you want to create a business online to create some income for yourself and become financially free, I created a free video training showing you how I've been able to make over 6 figures per year with my online business and be able to travel the world and live a good life, pretty much. If you want to know how to do that, I created a free case study, and the link is down the description of this video. You can click the link and access this free video. That's it for this video. I hope you find it helpful, and make sure you avoid to get a burnout by doing the things I say. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.